Hello, it's Dr. Oge here. I am a general practitioner and I'm currently on a night shift. And I just thought to talk about the impacts of poor sleep on our health and how we can mitigate the effects of night shifts on our health. We are in a profession that we find ourselves having to work at nights, and even though studies have come out showing the links between poor sleep and chronic conditions, if you are in a situation where you cannot avoid doing these shifts, be it in the hospital or other professions that involve working at night, we need to know how we can manage working the shifts and how we can also counteract the effects. So a recent study came out showing a strong link between poor sleep. So when I say poor sleep, not sleeping up to 7 hours at a stretch at night, or interrupted sleep, there's a strong link between poor sleep and dementia. Other studies have also showed links between poor sleep and chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure. So, some of the things I do before coming for a night shift, I try to have a very long siesta. This is my personal circumstance. I know it might be difficult for other people based on their circumstance, but once you've got a supportive family, if you're able to relay to them that you're going on a shift and you need to sleep. So what I do is I darken the room because I'm sleeping in the day, ensure that the room is warm, and I also try to keep all technological devices away because they are distractions. I struggle with yanking myself away from the phone. So a very deep siesta. Usually I have a good meal before I sleep so that it kind of lulls me to sleep. Number two, I also exercise in the day because when I've exercised, let's say about 4 hours before I go to sleep, it makes me tired and I am yearning for bed. I'm yearning for a nap. Then when I come for my night shifts, before I go for the night shift, I try to have maybe a light night meal. Let's say if I've had my siesta, I try to wake up 2 hours before my shift, have my light night meal before I go for the shift, because if you eat a heavy meal during the shift, you find yourself maybe falling asleep, something we call in medicine dumping syndrome. When you've eaten, the blood flow to the brain is a bit reduced because it needs to go to the stomach and the gastrointestinal tract. So I try to have a light meal an hour before my shift. I take a bottle of water with me because it's necessary to keep yourself hydrated. You drink a lot of water, it improves circulation, it improves blood flow to the brain because you need to keep alert, active to be able to make decisions that border on people's health. We don't want to make a mistake because you booked that night shift and you have to get yourself ready for it. I also try to take some sugar-free bubble gum in case I start feeling a bit drowsy. Another thing I do is take regular breaks. I pace myself. So I've got my jotter with me, and in this jotter, I try to write out the tasks I'm supposed to do and keep myself as organized as possible because, when you're having so many things happening at the same time, you need to be able to keep on top of what you're doing. Then, like I said, I take regular breaks. So with the European Working Time Directive, you're supposed to get regular breaks. You need to, if you're working with a team, find out who has gone for their 30-minute or 15-minute break. And I use that time to go stretch, have a drink of water, and then if you have up to 15 minutes, some people call it a micro nap, but it's quite risky unless you've got an alarm system that can help you wake up after you've maybe snoozed for about 10 minutes. They are power naps, as they say, and they are quite refreshing. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes if I know that I am not going to wake up, I don't bother. I can use that time to go outside the department and get fresh air. Fresh air has this stimulating effect on the brain. So And then I also try to keep myself on my feet as much as possible, because I find out that during the hours of 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4 a.m., I find myself struggling to keep awake. So I've talked about having a good siesta before coming to work, trying to have a meal, going to work with a bottle of water to keep yourself hydrated. Some people take coffee, some people take tea. I don't take them because they don't really work for me. And I find out that they make it difficult for me to sleep the next day. I take regular breaks. I have an organizer to be able to write out the things I'm going to do during that shift. I try to keep myself on my feet as much as possible. I take regular breaks, go out, stretch my legs, get some fresh air. And then once my shift is over, if I'm going to drive for a long distance and I know I need to take a break, I go to the call room and possibly have a bit of a nap there before I start going home. And if it's somewhere I can, like if I'm walking somewhere close to home, I just take a walk and go back home. And when I go back home, it's sleep. You can put your comments in the comments section. Any questions you want to ask, please ask them, and then we can keep the discussion going. Thank you.